Hello students, I am Dipali Devi, your geography teacher. Today I am going to start a new lesson, chapter number 4 from your textbook Agriculture. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the agriculture, and I want to say before starting the class, I want to say something to you that already we have finished the 3 chapters. Question and answers I will send you as PDF in the school app. Now I am going to start the lesson. The lesson is started with an example, like a short story. The Gurpreet, Madhav, and Tina were walking through the village where they saw a farmer tilling land. The farmer told them that he was growing wheat and had just added manure to the soil to make it more fertile. He told the children that the wheat would fetch a good price in the mandi from where it would be taken to factories to make bread and biscuits from flour. This is a short story regarding the family members of Gurpreet, Madhu and Tina. They are walking through the village, and when they are walking through this village, they saw the one of the farmer was tilling the land. They asked them what are you doing like that to the farmer. The farmer told them that he was growing wheat and had just added manure. That that means the farmer doing the wheat cultivation in that area and added some manure to get the more product. When the farmer added manure to the soil will be very fertile and the production will be more. So in nearby them there is a big market where the production can be sold in that area. So he tried to do the best for more production, and from this wheat this will go to the factory and make the biscuits and bread from the flour. This transformation from a plant to a finished product involves 3 types of economic activities. These are primary, secondary, and tertiary. And regarding these 3 things, the tilling land is the primary sector, the primary activity. Tilling land. First and foremost for the agriculture is the tilling land is the first and foremost step. After that, the farmer told them that he was growing wheat and had just added manure to the soil. That means tilling the land, after that growing the seeds, sowing the seeds to that land to grow wheat plant. To grow wheat plant, the farmer sowing the seeds. So this is the secondary activity. And third one is the when production was there. No, sorry, the secondary activity is the production of the goods from that land. That means the wheat. And from this wheat, it can be made bread and biscuits from this wheat flour. This is the secondary activity. After that, these are sent to the market and it can be sold. So these are the after that they will get the benefit, and this is the economic activities. So the primary, secondary, and tertiary activities. There are 3 activities to related with the agriculture. The primary activities include all those connected with extraction and production of natural resources. Agriculture, fishing, and gathering are good examples. These are the related with the primary activity. Secondary activities are concerned with the processing of these resources. The collection of the raw materials from agriculture, from fishing and gathering, and these are the examples as the primary activity. These are the first step. But when these are given in a process, then this is the secondary activity. Manufacturing of steel, baking of bread, and weaving of cloth are example of this activity. So to make the shirt, I want to say, to make a shirt, the first and foremost thing is the cotton. The plantation of the cotton is the first and foremost activity. After that, the cotton have to process in the factories. After that, making shirt is a process also. When these shirt will fit for wear, and these are going to the market for sale, and these are the third tertiary activities, and these are related with the transport, the banking, insurance, advertising, all these things. Now I want to repeat: the primary activities include all those connected with extraction and production of natural resources. Agriculture, fishing and gathering are good examples. Secondary activities are concerned with the processing of these resources. Manufacturing of steel, baking of bread and weaving of cloth are examples of this activity. Tertiary activities provide support to the primary and secondary sectors. That means growing, starting the thing, starting, that means the agriculture is the primary activity, and given to the process in factories or industries, these are the secondary activities. And tertiary activities provide support to the primary and secondary sectors through services, transport, trade, banking, insurance, and advertising are examples of tertiary activities. So you see, the shirt, when we prepare the shirt, it is fit for wear. But it is not only for the wearing purpose, but we have to sell this production to the market, and then the advertising is needed, the insurance is also needed, transport and communication also needed. These are the tertiary activities. Agriculture is a primary activity. It includes growing crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers, and rearing of livestock. In the world, 50% of persons are engaged in agricultural activity. Two-thirds of India's population is still dependent on agriculture. The favorable topography of soil and climate are vital for agricultural activity. For agricultural activity, that these factors are supporting factors, mainly the suitable topography of the soil. That means the having the fertility of the soil. It is the sloping or the plain areas like that. And climate is the main, are vital for agricultural activity. The suitable climatic condition also necessary for the agriculture, and the favorable topography and quality of the soil is also most important. The land on which the crops are grown is known as arable land. And then you can create one short question, then what do you mean by arable land? The answer will be: the land on which the crops are grown is known as arable land. In the map, you can see that agricultural activity is concentrated in those regions of the world where suitable factors for the growing crops exist. Then there is a map given in your book. This is the map. This is the map. In that map, some regions shown by colors shown as arable land. Then having the green colors, these are arable land. That means in that areas the agricultural activity is concentrated, is done. The land on which the crops are grown is known as arable land. In the map, you can see that agricultural activity is concentrated in those regions of the world where suitable factors for the growing of crops existed. Generally, in plain areas, the agriculture is very suitable. This, it is a suitable condition in plains because of it is related with the rivers. The river water touching the plains, as a result, the fertility grow in that areas. So these are the factors that can that crops growing easily. The agriculture, that these are the definitions for some definitions: agriculture, sericulture, pisciculture, viticulture, and horticulture. All these things are related with the word culture. Agriculture, the science and art of cultivation on the soil, raising crops and rearing livestock. It is also called farming. Sericulture, commercial rearing of silkworms. It may supplement the income of the farmer. Pisciculture, breeding of fish, especially constructed tanks and ponds. Viticulture, cultivation of grapes. Horticulture, growing vegetables, flowers, and fruits for commercial purposes, commercial use. Sometimes there is some farm system. Agriculture or farming can be looked at as a system. The important inputs are seeds, fertilizers, machinery, and labor. These are the picture that mainly you see in the left hand side the picture, the inputs, process, and outputs. Inputs are the machineries, seeds, chemicals. The processes are plowing, sowing, and spraying. These are. After that, the outputs, then when we get the crops. At last, the harvesting the crops is the last. These are the outputs. After that, some physical inputs also there. The physical inputs are the mainly the one is the human being itself. Then after that, the natural, the sunshine, temperature, rainfall. Then the storage, labor, machinery, and chemicals. These are the physical inputs. Yes. Some of the operations involved are plowing, sowing, irrigation, weeding and harvesting. Weed means the unexpected plants. These are unused. The outputs from the system include crops, wool, dairy, and poultry products. Next, types of farming. Farming is practiced in various ways across the world. Depending upon the geographical conditions, demand of produce, labor, and level of technology, farming can be classified into two main types. These are subsistence farming and commercial farming. They are mainly based on these factors, they are depending upon the geographical conditions, demand of produce, labor, and level of technology. Farming can be classified into two main types. The number one is the subsistence farming. The second one is the commercial farming. Subsistence farming, this type of farming is practiced to meet the needs of the farmer's family. Only, only for the need of the farmer's family that this type of farming is going on. And these are traditionally low levels of technology and household labor are used to produce on small output. Subsistence farming can be further classified as intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. Mainly, the two types of farming are there: subsistence farming and commercial farming. Then some subsistence farmings are only doing by this type of farmers that they can fulfill their need of their family members. When they are going to do this type of farming, they using the traditionally used some tools and low level of technology. Some the household laborers, that means from their family members, are used to produce on small output. Then the output also very small. Subsistence farming again divided into two: intensive subsistence farming and primitive subsistence farming. Intensiver, the farmer cultivates a small plot of land using simple tools and more labor. Climate with large number of days with sunshine and fertile soils permit growing of more than one crop annually on the same plot. And that was the very big problem that in that type of farming, that means intensive subsistence farming. In case of intensive subsistence farming, the farmer selected a small area, small plot of land, and using the simple tools like hoe, dow, like that. Then these are selected by this type of farmer, and the more labor. That means the all the family members are joining in that agriculture. Another thing, they have to wait for the nature. Depending on the climatic condition, they have to wait the natural sunshine, the natural fertility of the soil, like that. They have to do the agriculture annually. Only one time they do the agriculture in the same plot. Rice is the main crop. Other crops include wheat, maize, pulses, and oilseeds. Intensive subsistence agriculture is prevalent in the thickly populated areas of the monsoon regions of South, Southeast, and East Asia. And in this type of agriculture done in that areas, that having the monsoon area uh, of south, in the southern part, and southeast and southeast Asia. In these regions, intensive subsistence agriculture doing. Primitive subsistence agriculture includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Shifting cultivation is thickly forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia, and Northeast India. These are the areas of heavy rainfall and quick regeneration of vegetation. A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. The ashes are then mixed with the soil and crops like maize, yam, potatoes, and cassava are grown. After the soil loses its fertility, the land is abandoned and the cultivator moves to a new plot. Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn agriculture. And already I told you that the shifting cultivation is one type of agriculture, that primitive subsistence agriculture. Then these are doing the ancient people. They are doing this type of agriculture because of they have not their own land to do the agriculture, so they have to move from one place to another place. They are doing this type of agriculture along with some animals, rearing animals for their income. So in the thickly populated areas, thickly forested areas like the Amazon basin and the parts of the tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast India, in that areas this type of agriculture are doing. These are the areas of heavy rainfall and quick regeneration of vegetation. Due to the heavy rainfall in that areas, the regeneration of vegetation means the growing grasses is maximum as a result of maximum rainfall in that areas. So these are very beneficial for them, that they can rear the animals. Therefore, the animals, these vegetations will be used as grass. A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. And when they selected the plot of land to do the agriculture, and They selected the one type of agriculture that within the short period that this type of agriculture should be matured. They clearing the plot of land and burning some trees and grasses, and these burning trees and grasses used as the fertility of the soil. So they're growing the fertility of the soil, then they can start their agriculture. The acids are then mixed with the soil and crops like maize. The types of the agriculture, the maize, yam, potatoes, cassavas are grown, and these are matured within the short period. After the soil loses its fertility, the land is abandoned and the cultivator moves to a new plot. So, one time doing the agriculture in that area, the fertility of the soil loses. So, the farmers have to shift from this place to another place. So, shifting from one place to another place, this is the system for the primitive people, the ancient people. So, this cultivation is known as the shifting cultivation. And the another name of the shifting cultivation is the slash and burn agriculture. So, the students, this much for today, and I will discuss about the primitive subsistence agriculture, about nomadic herding. And okay, thank you.